thank you very much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell you a little bit more about EB-5 and my company, CMB Regional Centers. Again, I'm Matt Hogan, Vice President of Project Development for CMB. I want to start by telling you a little bit, just a real quick overview on EB-5. As many of you know, EB-5 is the Immigration by Investment vehicle for the United States. So it's not a citizenship program. It provides you with permanent residency, a green card. Then once you have that green card and you've been there for 5 years, you can go through the citizenship program. Biggest difference, really the only difference as it pertains to most people, is the ability to vote. Once you're a citizen, you can vote in U.S. elections. A green card holder really has many of the same rights as any other U.S. Citizen. You can live anywhere, you can work anywhere, your kids can go to school anywhere. It's a fantastic investment or immigration by investment opportunity because, again, it's the United States. It's the one investment or immigration by investment vehicle for the United States in that regard. My company, CMB, is one of the oldest and largest regional centers in the program. Our primary role is to find investment opportunities. So the EB-5 program requires that an investor invest a minimum of $900,000 US into a program that will be shown to create at least 10 new US jobs for every investor. And so my primary role at CMB is to find those projects and structure those projects that will give you an opportunity to earn an EB-5 visa. Our company has worked with, you can see, over 5,600 clients from over 100 countries around the world, hundreds of them here in India. Over 4,800 of our clients have already gone through the first stage of the EB-5 program, which is the I-526 petition stage, which gives you that initial visa. Once you have that, you are able to enter the country. And then that's when the magic has to happen, right? You have to be able to show the U.S. government that your investment created jobs. The investment opportunities that we structure ultimately produce those jobs. And our role is to provide you and your attorney with all the reporting information necessary to support to the government that job creation took place. We have a very large staff. That's one of the things that sets us apart in the industry. There are a lot of regional centers that are still active in EB-5. We're a big staff. We have business plan writers on staff. We have economists on staff. We have in-house immigration counsel, in-house securities counsel. We have accounting staff. We have people who speak 14 different languages right in-house in our office in the Midwest. We have a second office in Dallas, Texas as well. And we have professionals throughout the world that fly around to be able to meet with our clients in person when they have questions or when they're interested in moving forward with CMB. We have a permanent representative here in India as well to be able to travel throughout India and meet with people who are interested in EB-5. It's something that sets us apart. There are a lot of companies in the industry who might only have a couple of people, and they're going to have a harder time catering to any individual client's specific needs. It's something that we take a lot of pride in, being able to provide a very high level of customer service. The company was founded by Pat Hogan. Pat is my uncle. It's somewhat of a family company. His daughter, Noreen Hogan, is now the president of CMB. Been around for over 25 years. Pat's been a leader in the industry for over 25 years. And we're going to be around for much more than another 25 years. We're here to stay. EB-5 is going through a transitionary period. The investment amount, as many people know, originally used to be $500,000 on the minimum investment side. Now it requires a minimum investment of $900,000. And that's presenting unique challenges to investors, particularly from here in India, who need to be able to transfer funds into the United States to make that in a way that's not only legal under US law, but has to be legal under Indian law as well. And that's something that's very important. We'll talk about it on a panel that we have a little bit later today, so I don't want to dwell on it too much, but one of the things that's most important in EB-5 is that you really know what you're doing, that you plan, that you make sure that you're working with the right team, because it's a large sum of money, and it's an important investment. It's the future of your family that depends on you doing this right, and you picking a great regional center to work with, you picking a great immigration attorney, working with a qualified chartered accountant, here to make sure that the investment is structured properly so that you don't waste your time through this process. If the US government doesn't think it's done right, either based on US law or Indian law, the likelihood is that they'll deny your petition. So you need to be very careful when you move forward, make sure that you're working with a great team. So back to CMB. CMB, we've become a very large company. We have the ability to take on projects in 23 different states. A lot of people ask us, why have we spread out throughout the United States? Well, we're a little different. We're not a real estate developer trying to structure our own projects. We actually serve as a lender to construction projects. So we go out and we try and find the best investment opportunities wherever they might be. And so that's led us to expand our footprint to cover many different regions within the United States. One thing that I will tell you that holds true through all of our investment opportunities is we structure them based on the goals of the investor. Number one goal of every investor, it isn't to earn some massive rate of return to get rich off of an EB-5 investment. It's a green card. So the projects need to focus on that goal first. How do you get that? You have a project that you know is going to move forward, is going to create the jobs, and those jobs are what gives you that ability to earn that green card. So you structure it to mitigate any risks that won't happen first and foremost, because that's the number one most important part of an EB-5 investment. Second most important is getting the investor their money back. Remember, it's an investment, and it has to be at risk, but it doesn't have to be risky. So if you pick quality developers to work with, you structure a good opportunity, likelihood is that it should be able to repay those investors at the end of the process. A lot of people will ask us, hey, my initial investment, is that really just kind of like a payment for the visa? Am I gonna get that back? Yes, you should get that back. And if you're going into an investment opportunity that doesn't look like it's gonna be able to provide that return of capital to you, you shouldn't move forward with that. Because there are plenty of good EB-5 investment opportunities out there that will give you that ability to get your money back. We've returned capital to over 1,000 clients in EB-5, many other regional centers that have never even worked with 1,000 clients, let alone taken them all the way through the process and returned capital to 1,000 plus clients. So something we're very proud of. Third most important goal is return on that investment. Yeah, it is an investment, and we want to be able to have it earn a small rate of return. Obviously, high return on investment usually means high risk. So what we try and do is we find projects that are capable of taking on this capital, utilizing this capital, but we don't want those to be risky projects. So generally, and in general, EB-5 investments are not going to provide you with a high rate of return. They're not going to provide you with livable income once you're in the United States. Our structure is pretty simple and straightforward, and actually it's become the gold standard within the industry. Back in 1997, we rolled out what was the first loan model at that time. And what I mean by that is an EB-5 investment, again, is an investment, but you don't necessarily have to invest in the form of equity in terms of ownership over a specific project. You can, and it's become it is very common to see that in EB-5. The problem with that is that, how do you get out? Number one way to get out of that is to be able to sell your share or to have somebody come in and redeem your investment at some point in time. But you don't really have a whole lot of control over making sure that you get the full return of your capital. It's all going to be based on the value of that equity at the point in time you want to exit. So what we've done is we've created a loan model. It's become the gold standard in the industry. It allows you to invest into a limited partnership. So you do still have an equity investment into that limited partnership, but that limited partnership is pooling your capital with other investors and then making a loan to the real estate project that will create the jobs. That loan is underwritten similarly to any bank would underwrite a loan. It's collateralized, it has a 6-year term, and at the end of that 6 years, the borrower is obligated to repay that loan. If the borrower doesn't, it's our responsibility as a fiduciary for the partnership to enforce the terms and conditions of the loan agreement to make sure that that loan is repaid, which then allows our investors to get their capital back at a more predictable point in time and should allow our investors to get the full value of their capital investment back. So it takes that certain amount of guesswork out of it for the individual investor. So we do have multiple projects that are available right now. I want to tell you a little bit about 3 of the opportunities that we do have. I think it's important that I also mention, again, and I said it a little bit ago, EB-5 is going through a little bit of a transitionary period right now. At the end of November of last year, new regulations were introduced in EB-5 to increase the investment amounts, and then they also tightened the areas that continue to qualify for EB-5 investment opportunities. The CMB has always been a company that's been very conservative. So we were very easily able to transition our projects from the old investment structure into the new structure to meet those current regulatory requirements. And so we do have 3 projects with limited availability in them that we are still subscribing. One is our Group 69 partnership. It has just a few units available, I believe 2 units still available. And it is a, as you can see, 187-room luxury hotel in Greenville, South Carolina. It's with a developer called the Kessler Collection. The Kesslers actually founded Marriott's Autograph Collection. They launched Marriott's Autograph brand, and they own their own portfolio of about 9 operating hotels that they call their Kessler Collection. They're the largest operator of Marriott Autograph Collection hotels. The Kessler Collection hotels are truly unique, each and every one of them. They're fantastic hotels. We have another partnership, CMB Group 68, that was fully subscribed last year that will open just this next month. And it is also a Kessler Collection hotel. So we've worked with this group. We understand who they are. We understand how they operate. We've seen them perform. This Group 69 partnership is currently under construction in Greenville, about 25% complete. The second investment opportunity that we have is our Group 74 partnership. Group 74 is a multifamily residential development in San Antonio, Texas. Texas is one of the fastest growing states in the United States right now. It's very pro-business. It is income tax free, so there's no state income tax in Texas, so we're seeing people move at an extremely high rate. One of the reasons why we opened a Dallas office, we have people looking to move into that community. It has a growing business footprint. It's very pro-business, very business friendly, and so we're seeing huge job creation growth there, which is in turn creating demand for residential. And so this project will help to fit that niche in the San Antonio area. It's also under construction, about 40% completed, and there are now 7 units still available in this particular partnership. It's another developer that we have worked with in the past called Stillwater Capital Partners. So this is a group that we've done 2 previous projects with. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 previous projects. 2 of those projects have been fully completed, and they have started returning capital to limited partners in those partnerships. Both fantastic projects. They were able to be completed on time and on budget. Again, investors have had success from an EB-5 standpoint in those opportunities as well. And the third, this is actually a coming soon. Within the next 2 weeks, we'll have this opportunity available. This is an investment opportunity with a group called Hillwood Development. Hillwood is a long-term partner of CMB. This will actually be the 28th partnership that we've done with Hillwood. Hillwood is one of the largest real estate developers in the United States. They are the development arm of the Perot family. Ross Perot Sr. ran for president twice in the United States, actually got his start in IT working for IBM, and was able to open 2 different data systems companies, sold both of those, and then ultimately sold to Dell in 2009. His son, Ross Perot Jr., founded Hillwood in 1988. They've become one of the largest developers of industrial logistics space. So these are large warehouse facilities for companies like Amazon, Pepsi-Cola, FedEx, some of the largest, most well-known Fortune 500 companies that are constantly expanding their logistics footprint in the United States. This particular project will involve the development and construction of 3 of those facilities in the Detroit, Michigan area. They've been historically some of our most popular projects that we've offered in EB-5. They're very simple, very straightforward, easy to understand. They have a very simple model. They build them, they lease them, they sell them. And so it makes for a very predictable job creating model, a very predictable exit strategy for our EB-5 investors. So as a track record, Hillwood, as I mentioned, this will be our 28th partnership. Very impressive developer that we've had the opportunity to structure quality EB-5 investment opportunities with. And they have had investors, or our investors, working together with our investors in Hillwood projects have been able to go full circle many, many times. So investors with I-526 petition approvals, permanent green cards after receiving their I-829 petition approvals, and return of capital, I believe, in 6 different investment opportunities with Hillwood. So they've been a pleasure to work with. If you have more questions about any one of these 3 investment opportunities I've talked about, we have a booth in the next room. I'd love to be able to talk to you about EB-5 and working with CMB and the process. I think it's very important that every investor really truly understand the process because you have to get it right. It's too important to you and your family. It's a large sum of money, and it's complicated. So it's important to work with a quality immigration attorney, a great chartered accountant that knows how to structure things right and appropriately under Indian law as well. So if you have questions about those or anything else related to EB-5 or our opportunities, investment opportunities, I'd love the chance to talk with you further. So thank you very much, and have a great rest of your conference.